This is the Introduction to Word Equations. You will need the worksheet Word Equations 1, which is located on my first website. Use the Science 10 link. And you also need a periodic table. Before you begin, it would be good to go through and find all the diatomic molecules. Those are the ones that are written as 2's. So we remember them by using the name Hofbrinkel. So it means hydrogen gets a 2, oxygen gets a 2, fluorine gets a 2. Whenever those are written by themselves, they have to be written with the 2 under them or they will be very hard to balance. So for example, in question 2, oxygen when written alone needs O2. When written as calcium oxide, it does not. In question 4, oxygen is again by itself, so it needs an O2. And in question 6, we have a hydrogen by itself, so it would be written as H2. The next step would be to get the periodic table and start to write the formulas for each of these words. So iron is just Fe, sulfur is S, and if I write the formula FeS, and I need to check that iron is +2, sulfur is -2. This formula does not require further numbers or balancing, so I'll show you balancing on a different question. So question 2, I have calcium plus oxygen, I already wrote it in, makes calcium oxide, CaO. Now this is a +2 and that's a -2, so this formula is correct. So my skeleton equation I'm writing below, again in blue, and I'm going to switch to red to balance this. In order to balance this equation, I can see that I have 2 oxygen here and only 1 here, so I need a 2 there and a 2 to balance the calcium. Okay, the next one I'll do for you will be more difficult, so we're going to skip down to number 5 to show you how to do a hard one. Okay, this one I need to look up barium is +2, this is Ba, and chlorine is a -1, Cl, so my formula will be BaCl2 because I need to do my crisscross, plus potassium sulfate, which is K. Sulfate is SO4. It is on the back of the periodic table. Now this one, the crisscross goes into the middle. Barium sulfate will be BaSO4. If I check their charges, they're +2 and -2, so they don't need anything else. And potassium chloride, which will be KCl. And those are +1 and -1, so those cancel. The next step would be to balance this equation, so I'd start with my chlorine, which has 2, and I'll put a 2 there for the chlorine. That 2 is also for my K, which works on the other side. I have 1 set of SO4 on each side, so this one does not need any further numbers. My very last one, I have potassium plus water, which is H2O, makes potassium hydroxide, which is KOH. I check the charges on those. Oops, those are my +1 and -1. Those balance out, and hydrogen I already wrote in as H2. I'll just put that in blue. Okay, to balance this one, the difficulty is that hydrogen here is by itself, which is an odd number, and hydrogen likes to travel in 2's. The best way to do this is to put a 2 in front of here, which now will give me 2 hydrogens there and 2 here, which is 4. So I need a 2 here, because 2 times 2 would make 4. And I also need a 2 in front of the K. The back side of the worksheet will be covered on Word Equations 2.